Hello, FBC Salinas. This is Pastor John coming to you with another edition of the Midweek Refresher video, where I desire to do two things. Number one, provide you information, and number two, provide you inspiration in the middle of your week. And I truly believe that you will be inspired because I get to interview two wonderful people about their experience in Nairobi, actually, more specifically at the Faraha Community Center that our church has helped fund over the years. And so anyway, informational stuff is this. This coming Saturday is Closer Walk. If you're interested in helping out with that, love to have you join us. Email Tracy at fbcsalinas.com. Need to be here around 2:30. We'll be back here around 5:15 to serve this meal, interact with the people, and have a great time there. So again, it's this Saturday. Love to have you join us. If you have questions, email Tracy at fbcsalinas.com. Second announcement is that this upcoming Sunday is our third annual Spiritual Grandparents Breakfast. It's partnering between Awana and our senior ministry, I-55. Love to have you join us if you fall into that age category. If you have questions about this, email Lorraine at fbcsalinas.com. It goes from 9 to 10 o'clock. It's a great opportunity for us to interact with the children, and it also represents one of the core values that we have here of being a multi-generational church. And so Lorraine and her team, as well as these children, will be interacting with us, and we will have a spectacular time having breakfast with one another. And so those are the main two announcements. And the last announcement is this. Mark your calendar for Saturday, February 22nd at 6 p.m. We are having a music event here, music night, where you pick the music, we get to sing it, and then we follow it up with some great ice cream. Be a wonderful way to spend a Saturday night worshiping our Lord with one another. If you have questions about that, email Adam and Jennifer Penrose. Their email is penrose@fbcsalinas.com. Let them know some of the suggestions you may very well have for the music. That would be great. But again, that's Saturday, February 22nd at 6 p.m. That's it for the announcements. I hope you're doing well. And if not, I believe what you're about to hear and experience on this midweek is going to encourage you greatly. And so I want to have Tracy and Susie slide in here, and we're hoping that everybody gets in the frame. If not, that'll be awkward. Just simply hang in there with us, okay? So anyway, we went to Kenya together. Many of you know that. If you don't know that, now you do. So while there, I met with some leadership folks from Nairobi Chapel, and these two went into, and I helped somewhat on Monday and Thursday of last week, but these two were there every single day, and you two had an experience that we called it, you were sitting in front of a fire hydrant, just blown away by everything that was going on there. And so, Susie, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
All right. So I asked you earlier, how was your faith impacted by this? What were some things that you noticed?
I noticed that even though things were difficult, they had really a big God vision.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that really touched my heart was when I was talking with the founders of Faraha School.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They said that their vision is big God, small problems.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking at the problems through God's eyes, they become small.
Mm-hmm.
And then big God and big calling.
Yeah.
And I think when I heard that, I was thinking, wow, they have a lot of challenges because of where they are, but their view of God is so much bigger.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the big takeaway.
Before I go to Tracy, play off of what you just said. It's interesting, is it not, that even though there's circumstances, and so often you see people in these types of situations and these type of circumstances, and you get overwhelmed by the circumstances. But what's interesting, at least for me being there and observing you two, as well as everybody on the team interacting and doing, not even necessarily doing, but interacting with the people there, was that you didn't even focus on the circumstances. You focused more on the fact that they were trusting in God. you know, and their circumstances are horrible,
Yes.
but yet they have this, for them, it's like, yeah, this is, our God is big. I love what you said, big God, big calling. So it's good stuff. What about you?
Yeah, mine was very similar to Susie's in that it was clear being down there that they believe in a very big God. They understand how big God is.
Mm-hmm.
And that really challenged me and my view of God.
Mm-hmm.
And because it started off, Faraha started off as a little tutoring center with a few kids and David, and through faith steps over the years, it's now an elementary school with 350 kids. And in addition to that, they have a high school with 100 and something kids in it. And they have a vision for something even bigger now. And the vision keeps growing, and it's going to happen.
Right.
And they have the faith that it's going to happen, and watching that faith and seeing how much they trust God with what God is calling them to do, knowing that God's going to provide, God's going to take care of it, and they're just moving forward in obedience.
Yeah. And that moving forward in obedience, they're taking these steps, right? And I think sometimes, and I think you both would agree with me, and if you don't do it here on the video. But I think sometimes we forget that our God is just inviting us to take a step. And so often we want to know that every T's going to be crossed, every I dotted, and then we'll take a step. And God's pretty much just saying, I'll take care of the crossing and dotting. You just simply take the step.
Yes.
And when we do that, and that's not just a Nairobi thing or a Huruma thing or a Faraha thing. That's universal. That just carries over no matter where you are in your faith journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a takeaway for this whole thing. So what do you hope, and Tracy, I'll reverse the order now.
Okay.
Tracy, what do you hope to bring and infuse into the life here at FBC Salinas? What would be your dream? What would be your man, I really hope this, I really desire this to take hold here. What would that be?
There's a half dozen things.
Yep, well, only give us one or two.
Yes, God taught us a lot during our time there, interacting with the kids and with the staff, and then also within the community of the Huruma slum. And probably my biggest takeaway, well, a couple. One is the staff really touched me in how open they were to us, how inviting they were to us. You know, we became an instant part of their family. And I know there's many of us here that are that way as well when we have when visitors come, and I want that for our whole church to see everyone, even in our community, not just people that come to our church, but our community as well, to invite people to be a part of our family. And so that was one thing that stood out to me. The other, of course, was the faith of the staff, the faith of the children, the faith of the community even. The community knows what the school is doing and the impact the school is having on them, and they encourage the school to continue however they can. And so to be able to see how the community comes together to work side by side and to work together, I'd love to be able to see more of that.
That'd be really cool.
Yes.
That would be really cool. And enfolding people into the community quickly.
Yes.
That would be a great thing, because that happens. And then the reputation of Faraha is known throughout Huruma, and that was very, very impressive.
Yes.
Very impressive. What about you, Susie?
So, a couple things also. One is when I was talking with the staff, they were talking about it's their calling. They don't see it as, the teachers over there do not see what they're doing as a job. They see it as a calling, and they see it as a ministry. And it dawned on me that, we all have a ministry. We don't have to be in some special titled position. We all have a ministry because we belong to God, and God has a job for everybody. And that ties into my second thing, that since I'm on the missions committee as well, is that we need to be getting into the Word, getting to know God, spiritual formation. But don't stop there. The ultimate purpose, ultimate command that Jesus gave us is the Great Commission. And I noticed that the mission is a part of their DNA. It's not something that just happens. It is part of their DNA. It's intentional, and so that's what I would like to see.
Yeah, it's good. The intentionality of it, right? And I think when we're intentional, what ends up happening is when you're intentional about something, all the other things, all the peripheral things, all the not so important things really take a back seat, because if they're not going to serve the purpose of intentionally growing people as Christ followers, as disciples, then you know what? Yeah, we'll do with whatever, but we're not going to get obsessed about getting stuck. And I'm sure, here's the thing, I mean, we were only there for a few days, but yet you guys, I mean, I was, hearing about what they were going to do with you and how they were going to, you're going to do this, or you're going to do that, and you're going, oh my goodness. But it's the intentionality. It was, we have you here, we want you to see what we're doing. And then the other thing is that the holistic approach.
Yes.
It wasn't just simply, hey, we're going to teach you 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4, read a book, all that, and go home. It was holistic. It was, we want to care for your medical needs. We want to care for your nutritional needs. We want to care for your educational needs. We want to care for your spiritual needs. We want to care for all of these, your communal needs. I'm going, that's what it's all about.
Yes.
So to add to that, all the staff, all the teachers knew every student's house, every student's family, every student's family situation. And they were doing something right.
Yeah.
They were doing something right.
And there are plenty of lessons to learn there, right? And so one of those things, just to give you all a heads up, be ready, because the elders and I have been talking about this for going on 6 to 7 months now, about making sure that we're connecting with one another. And so in light of what our experience was there, some of the lessons that we learned there, we can bring them here and begin applying them here. And so I think that's a fantastic thing. And the other thing is this, I mean, it's all about representing Jesus. For those of you that don't know, Huruma is 2 square miles with 500,000 people in it. That's a whole lot of population density. And yet, even though there are all these people, Faraha is there, and they're impacting one life at a time, one story at a time, for one victory at a time, because that's what's happening there. And so it was great stuff. All right. So I know this, you two have plenty of other things to say. I want to encourage you to connect with Susie or Tracy, both of them, whatever. They'd be more than happy to talk to you about this stuff. And as a church, let's be praying that we can implement these different ideas as far as intentionality, as far as the faith journey, as far as what it means to make an impact and not be afraid, right? Not be afraid to take these steps, and in the process, enjoy God's good work, right?
Amen.
It's good stuff. And then on top of that, they didn't even mention this, and it sort of hurts me a little bit. They got to hang out with me a lot, and I'm sure that impacted their lives in phenomenal ways as well. So that's another time for another story, right? Are we good on that? So anyway, hey, thank you guys. And it was great serving there with you and watching God do great things in your life and through your life.
Yes.
All right?
It was
So
incredible.
It was absolutely incredible. So anyway, hey, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week. If you have questions, talk to these two. You can even talk to me if you want. Talk to these two. They'll give you some more insight into what's going on there. But I look forward to what God's going to do in FBC Salinas, through FBC Salinas, for his kingdom. All right? So, all right, let's say goodbye. All right? See you later. Have a great day. We'll talk to you. Bye-bye.